Good evening, everybody. As a woman growing up from a third world country, I had to make so many decisions in my life. Well, I'm not going to talk about all of the decisions where I quit my school when I was in my 4th grade. I tried to start my own school and teach homeless kids how to learn alphabets. And my mom beat me up and put me back in the school days. Then I had to make a decision to either do my engineering or go for my medical degree. Then I had to make a decision to either come to the United States or get married. Besides all the decisions, I have 3 kids under 4 years old, and I make 10,000 decisions a day with them. But today I want to specifically talk about 2 decisions that I made in my life that changed my life forever. I worked for about 9 years in data analytics for different companies in pharmaceutical industry around Philadelphia. Met my husband learning French and married him, had 3 kids and took a break from work. During these 3 years when I took a break, I just couldn't stay home and listen to my husband. I had to be stubborn and do something by myself. So like Matt, I started my construction company. I didn't have any background in construction, but I had a good eye for interior design, so I was probably the only 5'2" Indian woman doing construction in Philadelphia. But I pretty much did a really good job, I think. For 3 years, I got really good amount of clients. I renovated about 5 houses and sold them. But at the end of the day, I was pregnant, and I was working from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. And I would hardly see my husband or hardly spend any time with my little babies. At that time, I also was managing about 20 to 30 people who are working on hourly basis. And I was never used to working with blue-collar workers before, because mostly my experience has been in white-collar professions. I found out over those 3 years that there was so much micromanagement that needs to be done. I had to make sure that they showed up at 7 o'clock. I had to make sure that they were clocking in the hours, which is not a common thing for somebody who goes to a professional job. That took a lot of my time from my family and what I was doing. So at that point in time, I made a decision that this is not something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So I quit, and I stayed home for 3 months. I wasn't going to go back to entrepreneurship. I was going to stay home and spend some time with my kids, which did not work out. So I told my husband that I want to go back to work. So I started applying for jobs in analytics in Philadelphia area. Put my resume on Career Builder, Monster, Indeed.com, everything. And I saw that I was getting about 10,000 to 15,000 emails every day about different jobs that doesn't at all suit to what I did or what my resume was about or what my profile was about. So I thought maybe there should be some way to streamline this process and help women like me who are managing 3 kids and house and relationships get a job easier than just focus on reading 10,000 emails, which nobody has time to do. So at that time, Shark Tank was doing casting calls in Philadelphia. One of my friends sent me an email and said, hey, you always have some ideas, why don't you just go apply for it? So I came up with an idea to match people with right jobs. So imagine it to be a dating site. You go on dating site, you answer 100 questions, and you choose your partner. But if you don't have right job, what is the point of having a partner when you don't have money? So I thought, why don't I use the similar concepts in finding the right job? So I used my data analytics background. I came up with an algorithm that actually takes users' profiles and their resumes and matches them with right job descriptions and work cultures that they want to work for. So I sent that 500-word pitch idea to Shark Tank. They selected me for the casting call. So I went through 2 rounds of casting calls. And the second round was in NAACP conference in Philadelphia. So I went there, and I gave them, I had an opportunity to get on the stage and talk about it. So I did, and I never let go of an opportunity to talk. So I did, and I got really good feedback. So I came back home. I didn't go for another round with Shark Tank. I didn't even have anything to show. So I went back home, and I told my husband that I'm on to something, and I probably would like to work on it. My husband was like, are you sure you want to do another entrepreneurial venture? I was like, yeah, I don't want to work for anybody. So he was like, okay, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. And that's when I started writing code. I found my algorithm, I patented my algorithm, and I'm working on my startup right now. I'm launching my beta next week, and I'm excited. I have a few clients lined up and in collaborating with few universities around here. So I'm excited to see how this new year is going to be and how this decision will lead me to the next level. So that's my story about my decisions. Thank you.